Welcome to Branching Out, the podcast where we explore the vital connection between faith and everyday life. Inspired by the lens of John 15:5, Jesus tells us he is the vine and we are the branches. Those who remain in him will produce much fruit, and apart from him, we can do nothing. So join us as we dig deep. Let's get growing. Hello. Welcome back to Branching Out the podcast. We are so happy that you are here joining us today. I am your host and creator, Nikita. So today we have my good sister. We are so close. We have been friends for
20s.
So we have been close for such a long time, and I am so excited to have her here to join us. Today, we are talking about waiting well in your singleness. We get into it. So this is Keayia. She is 36 years old. She has been single for over 9 years. Let's talk about it. Her loved ones would say that she is a fraud investigator by career and an aviation enthusiast by passion. She is calm, collected, loves Jesus. She enjoys traveling, serving others, and learning new things on YouTube University. She is a YouTube guru, okay? She's gonna watch YouTube.
I will all day, every day.
Hey, waiting well in your singleness. Let's talk about it.
Whew.
Okay.
Just thinking about the topic. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's a topic that people really need to hear. And I think it's a topic that's so near and dear to me as well. Even though I am married, I, of course, was single in between my two marriages. And I think it's something that people are uncomfortable about because we live in a society right now, especially us as millennials, where there's this rush culture and people want to be married so badly. And so I think it's a topic that people don't really discuss.
No, because it's uncomfortable. Society tells you need to be married.
Yeah.
Like, you need to be married. You need to be married tomorrow. You need to have your kids. You need to have your white picket fence. You need to have a good job, all of the things.
Yeah.
So when you're not, it's like, what's wrong with you?
Right. Exactly. So let's dive in. So share your personal journey with singleness and what led you to explore the concept of waiting well.
All right. So just to share a little bit of how I got here. I would say maybe like in 2015, I went through like a crazy breakup. So throughout that, this was before my Jesus days. So I didn't really know who I was. I didn't know purpose, like all of that. Like I know now, I just didn't know. So I was literally in a position where whoever loved me, I loved them back, and I was just looking for love in all the wrong places. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
And so I went through that breakup, and then I literally from that fell into the arms of Jesus. That's how I always say it, is that from that it propelled me to rededicate my life to Jesus. Of course, I grew up in church, but it's just a different thing when you literally have your own personal relationship. And so that was like 2015, got my own personal relationship with Jesus. I think it really took off from there to where I was, serving as small group leader and finance ministry, like building community with like where we met in a small group, Duluth small group with May as the leader. I think it's just one of those things where I didn't choose to be single for this long. Let's just say that. It was the Lord literally like pruning me like throughout those years and allowing me to see my worth, my value in his eyes, and not to just pick a mate just to pick a mate, whoever likes you, and just go with that. Like, not really having the values as top of my list or making sure they love Jesus and all of that. I used to do that before, and I just did not want to go through that this time around. Like, I had a new lens, new perspective, and so I didn't choose to be single this long. But while I'm here, while he's pruning me, I how to wait well. I've been serving well. So that, yeah.
Good. And I always hear that when you are wanting to be in relationship with someone, you need to serve.
Yeah.
You need to serve because you could very well meet your husband
Yeah.
while
Yeah.
you are serving. But I think that it also puts you in a heart posture of keeping Jesus first.
Absolutely.
You are out here intentionally looking for a relationship and Jesus is on the back burner. When you get into that relationship, guess what's going to happen?
Gonna crumble.
And Jesus is going to be in the back. So
Yeah.
if you continue your heart posture of keeping Jesus first, when you meet that person, that will still be your heart. So I think that it's so amazing that you are serving and focusing on Christ in this season and in this moment. So how do you define waiting well? And why do you think it's an important perspective for those who are single?
I think it's important perspective in general. I think it's important because if you are, if you are a person that I think community is super important, like throughout these years that I've been single. Now I've been dating people, going on dates, getting to know people, but they're just not my person. It hasn't worked out. And so in the meantime, like, instead of thinking, oh, well, it's me, I'm the problem. And I would say like earlier on, I thought, I was like, man, it's me, it's the problem. But then of course going through therapy, which is I think is very important throughout this season of Waiting Well, like getting to know me, who is Keayia, who God designed me to be, what He purposed me to do on this earth. Even if I never get married, I still have a purpose. And so I think that is super, super important, and that everybody should understand that God created you on purpose for a purpose, not just to be a mother, not just to be a wife, but you are your own person and He created you for a purpose, for a reason as well, individually, like outside of the other things that you add. And so I think when I transform my mind in this season of Waiting Well, because Waiting Well, I'm like, what are you talking about? Waiting Well, I want to be married. Like I was one of those girls that I kept a boyfriend or I kept somebody phone number. I kept somebody on deck. Like my friends in college would say, "Girl, you always keep a boyfriend." I did, but that's when I didn't really know better. But now I do. I know better. I do better, and so I only want what's best for me and what is God centered. And so in the meantime, I'm gonna serve while I'm waiting. Serve others. That looks like babysitting for others, watching kids, watching nieces, nephews, watching godson, whatever that looks like. Serving in the community, like so many different things. Even within the 9 years, the Lord had brought it to me earlier. It's like, man, you've done so much. You've served so many. I went on 3 different mission trips. I've been a leader in different ministries throughout church. I've literally had different career changes throughout. And man, I just feel like I am so full. And I've traveled for so many different places. And so I'm full. Like I have to look for places and spaces where I can put everybody on the calendar because I really enjoy my community.
And one thing that I love about you is that you are doing those things so well. When I say this is Deuce's God mom, and when I say she truly serves with such a humble heart, it's like, what do you need? What can I do? Where am I? Where do I need to be? What time? And I love that so much about you because sometimes when we want something, all we can think about is what we want. It becomes selfish, like how can I do things for me? Which there's nothing wrong with doing things for you, but I think you throwing yourself into how you can show up for others is also preparing you to show up for your future spouse and your future children one day. Because this is something that you will be so natural at because you've been doing it for so many years for so many other people.
Yeah, when you say that, I just, it just sends chills because we've been friends for quite a while. And so, yeah. And throughout that, I've realized that I have not been in a relationship throughout our friendship. I had just got out of one when we first met. And so you haven't seen the girlfriend, the fiance, the wife, Keayia, but I have those characteristics in me where, I'm showing up for friends, for family, and I love to do it. And so although now there are moments where I'm like, man, I really, like, I still desire it, but it's not an idol in my life. And so how I did get over that is just serving, like just showing up, taking better care of myself, going to therapy, realizing that I'm not perfect, but I need to understand some of the things that I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and retraining my mindset on things. So yeah.
Serve. Y'all hear
Yeah.
that? If y'all didn't hear nothing else, serve.
Yeah.
Serve.
Yeah.
I love that. So, what are some key lessons that you've learned during your time of waiting, and how have these shaped your approach to relationships and life?
I think I covered some of it. It's kind of intertwined, but I would definitely say my faith journey has been, I can be type A and very structured a lot. So, just releasing control over my life. Like, this is one area where it's like, come on, Lord. Like, I feel like everything else has been orchestrated, but why am I not married yet? Like, you couldn't have told me like 10 years ago I wouldn't be married with kids right now. But I am in the exact place that I'm supposed to be in the right timing. And so just so having a community that's surrounding me, that check up on me, we hang out. Like, I have so many different girlfriends and married friends. Like, you're one of my married friends where I could go to you for anything, everything. And it could be me, you, and Miles having a conversation, and I'll get his male input. And I have several friends that are like that, like them and their husbands. That I'm like a sister that they really want to be married one day, and it's like, all right, I got somebody I can hook you up with. And so they've been trying to play matchmaker, but it just has to be the right timing and having an open mind, like. Get to know Keayia. Like, what do you like? What do you enjoy? Like, so throughout that, just learning me. Like, what did you purpose me to do?
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
And two, I always believe that when you don't know who you are and who's before you get in a relationship. Now you are in this relationship and you're scrambling, trying to figure out who you are.
Right.
And so your identity changes and who you are changes, but
Mhm.
whose you are will always remain the same.
Absolutely.
And so when you are single, it is your opportunity to get to know you. What do I
Yeah.
like? What do I
Yeah.
not like? What ticks me off?
Yeah.
And I think that those things are important. And so that if you do see, because those things that you have flaw in are only going to heighten.
Yeah.
It's a relationship
Yeah.
and when you get married. And so I love that you're like, I'm learning me. That's the
Yeah.
lesson in itself. I'm
Yeah.
learning who I am and who I want to be so that when I do become attached to someone else in a marriage, my identity could already be confirmed.
Right. And before I used to look for validation in the man that I dated or whatever. And so now I'm like, no, like I have a different perspective now. I know who I am and whose I am. And because of that, I'll be able to date from a healthy perspective and instead of, counting on them for my happiness when I should already be happy. Like, if you're not adding to my happiness, I don't want it. And so that's kind of the perspective I have now. If you're not being an asset to me already, like I don't want it because I am whole and still growing with the Lord on my own. And so add to it, or I'll just continue to remain single. And so, yeah. Yeah.
How does your faith play a role in your ability to wait well? Are there any specific scriptures or maybe even practices that have helped you?
Man, my faith, like I said before, is extremely important. I know what it was like to not believe in, well, not believe in Jesus, but have a relationship with Jesus, and how I used to date and be in relationships before. And man, it's like completely one of those in the beginning, one of the scriptures, I believe it is Romans 12:2, like, do not copy the customs and behaviors of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And man, it really helped me, especially in the beginning. It really, really helped me because I had to change my lenses. And the more that I immerse myself in the Lord and the more in the word and community and being regular at church and all of that stuff, it helped me. Like, it gave me the drive. Before, I didn't have boundaries. I didn't even know what that was. I was like, boundaries? What are you talking about? But now there's boundaries that I put in place that protects me and protects my heart, just protects me all around. And so, as a Christian, there are certain things that I will not subject myself to. You won't catch me on the phone all times of night, boot up 1, 2 in the morning, because I know what I used to do and I know what my triggers are. And so I can no longer do that anymore. There are certain things I do not watch on TV anymore. However, there is wholesome stuff that's out there now. So now my eyes and my ears are more trained to more wholesome stuff, family friendly versus, well, what is everybody in the world talking about? It's like, well, is that going to cause you to, stumble or any temptation? For me personally, I just had to check that. And so that was pruning like yearly, daily, every day. It's like new stuff. It's like, come on, Lord, I gotta, that. But I would say it's not about always taking away, but also adding. Like, what am I adding? I'm adding community. I'm adding accountability. I'm adding spending more time with Jesus. Just being mindful of that, mindful of my life.
And although you are sacrificing or you have sacrificed all those things, obedient.
Yeah.
Every single time.
It is.
Every single time. And so keeping yourself in community and close to the Lord and deep into His Word allows you to be in a space where you are already ready. Like, be ready, stay ready, so you won't have to get ready.
Yeah,
is what I like to say. And so you are truly making sure that you're on your P's and Q's.
Yeah.
Making sure that so when He comes, because
He is coming. He is coming.
will already be ready. You're not trying to fight and trying to get yourself together and trying to have a relationship with the Lord. It's already there.
Yeah.
And He will just be that addition.
Yeah. And one thing I will add is that before I was not that great in being a good steward of my finances. But along this journey, throughout this singleness, I've learned to be not only better with my finances, but I end up helping, or I helped within the finance ministry, like budget coaching with other people, seeing their lives change, being kind of like a mentor to several people and seeing their lives change. And so it's going to help me in marriage and beyond to be just better with money, to be financially literate and to be financially conscious, especially during this time that we're in now. And so, it's just so much. We don't have time for all of it, but it's just so much. Finances is one of the things that I've literally I've discovered. I was like, man, I kind of like this.
Like, so finding your passion in your singleness, that's good. I love that. That's important. What are some common challenges people face while waiting in their singleness, and how can they overcome them?
I think comparison is definitely one of them. One of the things that I'll say that I did, well, eventually came to that. I'm not on social media at all. I am in a world that is very social media driven. Now, granted, if I had a business, well, when I have a business and I need to promote it, of course, those will be some avenues I would take. But personally, for myself, I don't know the new trends that are out. Like, I have to ask a friend, what is this? Like, what is going on? So I do not have social media because of the comparison. And so what happened is that I would scroll on my phone, not really posting. I'm just not really a social media girl like that anyway, but I would get on there and I'm looking at everybody's life. Everybody's living good. Everybody's married. Everybody has kids. Everybody has the life that I want. And so I realized that the envy and jealousy started like creeping up from time to time. Every time I would get on, and it made me feel less than. It made me feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be in life. It just made me feel horrible. And so I was like, no more. Like, I'm taking control of it and I just won't be on at all. So all of my accounts, I only had Facebook and Instagram, but it's newer one to the package. So I got off all of that, and I've really seen a change because I'm not comparing myself to them. I don't know their backstory. I don't know what the Lord called them to do, but I know what He called me to do. And so that's one of the things I did. I'm not saying everybody else has to do that, but that's one of the things that I did, and it helped me, and it's continuously helping me along this journey. I think it's been 3 years now since I've been completely off. So, yeah, so I think that is one of the things that has helped me in the journey. And that comparison would lead to loneliness during the waiting at times and turning it back on myself like, what's wrong with me? Why am I not this? Or they're not following Jesus and they look like they have the good life and just so much stuff. So I would definitely say that within this waiting well and everything, just be mindful of what people are soaking in. Like, what are you looking at? What are you listening to? All of that stuff is important. Are you listening to things that is talking down on men, talking down on women, and it's not in the trajectory that you want to go? You need to cut it off because that's not helping you in your singleness. It's hurting you. And so, yeah, I think that's one of the things for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. So with those who are dealing with comparison, because I think that that's such a huge one, but it's such
Yeah,
a broad one.
it is
You're
broad.
comparing yourself to other couples who
Mhm.
seem happy, because you know on
Mhm.
social media people
Right.
really post the good stuff.
Right.
But for those who are struggling with comparison, since that was a huge one,
Mhm.
what advice would you give for them to overcome? Because for you, you got off social media
Mhm.
and that helped you tremendously. But what about other avenues? What advice can you give if they are struggling with comparison? How can they
Yeah.
overcome that?
I would think you definitely would need to be still and see what the Lord is calling you to do because we're so busy with life, like we're on the go, we're here, we're there, and so we ignore his voice when he's trying to tell us stuff. So that's definitely one. Writing in your journal. I write a lot in my journal just to write my thoughts out, just to understand therapy, talk to a therapist, also talk to friends that has really helped me to kind of get it out and not to sit with it. It's like, you know what? I think I need a little company today. Or what you doing? Can I come over? Can I, do you need I look from not really into myself, but look how I can serve others in that moment.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I'm having a moment. I feel like it's all about me. Let me go out and see how I can serve someone else so I could take the focus from off myself and onto someone else. And then maybe I will start feeling better. Well, I know usually I do feel better, but journaling is very, like, that is probably one of the top ones. I have so many journals, like, so many, because it is therapeutic for me. And so, because it helps me to identify what is it really like, what is the underlying issue, what is the root. And we see the fruit is that you're comparing yourself to others, but what is the root? And so yeah, that's that. Journal it out. Therapy, like, if you've never had a therapy session, or I would definitely say, or even a coach, if you feel like you can't afford therapy, maybe you can go to a coach that's similar to therapy but more affordable for you. Now, they can't prescribe you certain things, but more affordable for you. But get out there and get some help for yourself.
Yeah,
That
I
is,
love
yeah.
that. Important. Thank you for that. How can someone shift their mindset from feeling frustrated and lonely in their singleness to embracing the season as an opportunity for growth?
Yeah, I think like I said before, serving. That when I feel as though I'm getting frustrated, when I'm writing in my journal, like I said before, I'm trying to understand, well, what is it? Like, a lot of times I don't know what it is until I'm writing it down. It's like, oh, that's why, because this, and this. And why do I feel like that? Like, I always say I therapize myself before I go to my therapy session, but a self-reflection. What caused this? Like, why am I so angry? Why am I so mad? Like, why am I so frustrated? What is it? Is it because you feel like you should have been here based on everybody else's timeline? Is it that you're a people pleaser and you are looking for other people's opinion on your life? So yeah, I think that now let me not act like everything is all rainbows and all of that stuff, because it is times when you are frustrated. Like, why? What?
Yeah.
Like, why hasn't this happened yet? But then I feel like I just snap out of it. Maybe I'm writing, maybe I'm watching something that's comedic because I like to laugh to get my brain off of it. Maybe I'm watching my airplanes, whatever it may be, so that I know what I like and what gets me out of a funk. But I also need to figure out what is the root of it. Like, why was I so frustrated?
Yeah, yeah. I think finding the root is important because sometimes we bury that
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes we are like, I'm just upset. And so whenever we are in that funk, sometimes that funk can be doing things that you ain't got no business doing.
Yeah.
And that's how then you find yourself in a situation. You find yourself looking for validation or attention. And so, what I heard you say is like, first get them out, get your feelings out. Because I always say that it's important to sit in your feelings for a little bit,
Yeah.
not too long. While stay there. I always say don't unpack and stay there. Like
Yeah.
don't put your clothes in the drawer and your clothes in the closet.
Yeah.
It's like we just passing through.
Right.
This is
That's a good analogy.
passing through. And so it's okay to feel and allowing yourself to journal those thoughts and get it out. But then we need some action.
Yeah.
Like, let me go hang out with a friend. Let me go pour into my friendships and serve, like you mentioned. And so I think it's important to allow those feelings to be.
Yeah.
Also, what do I need to do next in result of that?
Yeah. Self-reflect. Maybe it's some motivational stuff that you need to do. Maybe it's you putting all of that frustration into you in a gym, working out, or some hobby, finding a passion that you love. Or maybe it's just laying on your couch, watching one of your old shows and just laughing your life away. Like maybe it's that. And then you get back up and you're good again, but you have to get to the root of why.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. How important is community? You've mentioned community before,
Yeah.
but how important is community during the waiting period and what role does it play in supporting individuals who are single?
Yeah, I think it is very, very important. I like to say that if I didn't have the community that I have from friends, married, single, my family, of course, I don't know what my life would be like. Like, honestly, because I like to say I live a full life now, and it is like being with my friends, my family, whether it is going on trips, whether it is birthday parties, whether it is brunch, whatever it may be. I look forward to that because I do everything else on my own. Like in my day to day, I am by myself. And so it's at times now, it's moments where I'm like, all right, I've been around too much people. I need to turn my brain off. But I understand that about me now. I understand that because I've been learning me. So I understand when it's okay, take a break. You've been around too much community. It needs to be you now. But it is super important. Like if you don't have your people, my gosh, like we were never meant to do life alone. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think community too serves as accountability.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like it just helps when you have people around you who are like, now you know. Now you know, especially if I got your location.
Yes, my community has my location.
And I'm that friend. So I think community, having people in your business, could really, really, truly help keep you accountable.
Yeah.
And if they know the track that you're trying to be on, it will help keep you on that track.
Yeah, yeah. And in this, I would say within this season of waiting well, within my community, I've seen so many of my friends do amazing things. And you're gonna always have my support because I love acts of service, helping people. Is just one of the things where I like to show my love for my friends and for my family. So I'm usually the first one to arrive at whatever and the last one to leave because I'm just that it's a love language that I like to give to people that I love to show that I not only do I support you, I'm gonna encourage you along the way. If your idea doesn't really sound that great, but like, you know what? Let's go with it, but let's figure out along the way. Yeah, what we gonna do? Start that Airbnb. Okay, let's go. You want to decorate it? Okay, let's go. Let's do that. You want to start the podcast? All right, let's go. I don't know how to do all this tech stuff, but yeah, we'll figure it out. So I've learned that I am definitely so supportive within my community, but they support me, and so I just love it. It's super important. You got to have it.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. How can waiting well prepare someone for future relationships? What qualities should they cultivate during this time?
Qualities. Well, it's funny because I remember, how we all have our lists and the things that we want and a significant other and all of that stuff. And I have all mainly character-based qualities. And so like kindness is super, super important and just, but you have to know you. Like if you don't know who you are and whose you are, then some of the stuff you're going to go in only looking for how someone can serve you instead of you serving them. And so I think having a servant's heart, like, are you humble? Are you kind? Are you loving? Are you gentle? Are you patient? Now, I still got to work on that patience stuff, right, but I think that's that type A that comes out within my career. It was like, all right, we got a deadline, but just so I think those are definitely some important ones. Your faith journey, like being a woman of faith, it is important. Like, how's your prayer life? Are you a woman of your word? Like, if you say you're gonna do something, are you sticking to it? Like, are you being true to that? So I think obedience to discipline, like there's so many different things that we could just sit right there. Yeah, like, are you loving towards people? Do you treat the CEO different from how you treat the janitor? Or do you see them as people who the Lord also died for and you treat them the same? Like, with respect and love and kindness.
And be who you're looking for.
Exactly. That's be who you're looking for.
The person that you are now will show.
Mhm.
It's a mirror when you get into a relationship, let alone a marriage.
Yeah.
Although if you are bitter and not kind,
Yeah.
angry all the time,
Yeah.
those things only increase. Now
Mhm.
that's like to test you,
Right.
or to trigger those weak spots. And so I think it's so important to be who you're looking for.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. All right. So, what final words of encouragement would you offer anyone who is currently navigating the challenges of singleness and waiting? What would you say to the people, those who are tired of waiting, those who are feeling unseen and that God has forgotten about them and they're trying to wait and they're trying to be patient? What would you say to them?
I'm glad you asked this question, especially about being unseen, because I felt like for the longest, it's like, Lord, you don't see me? Are you hiding me? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm out here, but ain't nothing working out. But I really think that my advice that I would give, first and foremost, is that love on you. Like, fall in love with the Lord, whatever that looks like in your relationship, and allow Him to show you how He loves you. And so, with that, you won't accept anything less from anyone else. And so, what I've had to do on my journey is, like I said, surrounding myself with people who know me, who love me, who's rooting for me. Like it's super important because I know that they see me, they've seen the journey that I've been on. They know my character. And so I can't just bring any and everybody up to, because I already know how Nikita's going to be.
No.
So, I think it's super important who you are yoked to, meaning whoever you marry is the second most important choice other than giving your life to Jesus that you'll make. And so I want to make sure that everyone makes it right, make the right choice and don't have to circle back. But even if you do, God redeems that as well. Yeah. Like, you are seen, you are more than enough, you are loved. The Lord has not forgotten about you. He has a plan and a future for you, and He loves you so much. And so I just think that at times when we feel as though we can't move forward and we're feeling frustrated, write it down, figure out what it is. Maybe it's going to a therapy session. Maybe it's just hanging out with some friends. Or maybe you just need to kick back, relax, and enjoy that good show on TV that's going to make you laugh. So find out what makes you happy. Find out what you're passionate about. And I think everything else will fall in line.
I agree.
Yeah.
This was so amazing.
Yeah.
And although I'm married, this has truly encouraged me. And I know that so many women, and I think even men, can benefit from this. I know that we're, speaking from a woman's perspective.
Yeah.
But I feel like, you had some really, really good gems in there that would be helpful for men.
Yeah.
Takeaways as well. But thank you so much.
You're welcome.
talking to the people about waiting well in your singleness. I think that they will hear this and truly be encouraged by the things, so many gems that you
Yeah.
gave.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I love you.
Follow me on all social media platforms. Like, comment, subscribe on wherever you listen to your podcast. Let's get growing.